Once upon a time, in the era of Dwapara Yuga, the third age of the world cycle of yugas, Saga Yuga, Tetra Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, in which humanity shows its first significant decline in righteousness, an age where morality and immorality coexist equally, and spirituality is deteriorating. In this age, Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu, took birth to establish a dharma, divine truth or justice. He taught humanity vital lessons to expand their consciousness. He taught about dharma, responsibility, righteousness, devotion, the essence of life, and fulfilling responsibilities without concern to the outcome, emphasizing unselfish conduct. He played a very important role in this era, where the great epic of Mahabharata taking place.
Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in sinfulness, O descendant of Bharata, at that time I manifest myself on earth to protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, and to re-establish the principles of Dharma. I appear on this earth age after age. Weapons cannot shred the soul, nor can fire burn it. Water cannot wet it, nor can the wind dry it. All the best among warriors fight for the sake of duty, treating alike happiness and distress, loss and gains, victory and defeat. Fulfilling your responsibility in this way, you will never incur sin.
The Mahabharata, Season 1, Episode 2. Story of Vishvamitra and Shakuntala.
Vishvamitra is one of the most venerated rishis or sages of ancient India. Vishvamitra is one of the 7 Brahmarshi. Before renouncing his kingdom and royal status, Brahmarishi Vishvamitra was a king, and thus he retained the title of Rajarshi, or royal sage. Once, in distant past, sage Vishvamitra was engaged in great austerities and penance that would give him almost absolute power over kingdom of earth and heaven. He has successfully completed requisite sacrificial rituals and now was engaged in meditation and yogic practices. Indra, the king of heaven, was shaken to know his efforts that could pose danger to his throne. Therefore, Indra decided to put obstacles in his austerities and thereby break his sadhana spiritual discipline. Indra thought of using the weapon of lust to this end. Therefore, he commanded the most beautiful Apsara in Indraloka. Manaka was sent from Indraloka to distract and seduce Vishvamitra, who was gaining alarming levels of yogic power through his deep meditation. Indra said to her,
Manaka, you must go to earth. You are very skillful of dance and music. Use your skill to distract and seduce Vishvamitra. He should not be able to complete his meditation.
Manaka replied,
O King of Indraloka, please allow me of not doing this. Vishvamitra is a pious person. It would be sinful of me to distract and seduce him.
Indra responded,
Manaka, don't give me any excuses. Just follow my commands.
Menaka did not argue any further. She was sent from Indraloka to distract and seduce Vishvamitra, who was gaining alarming levels of yogic power through his deep meditation. She reached the forest where Saint Vishvamitra was performing his meditation and began dancing in front of him. First, Vishvamitra was not disturbed. As the days passed on, one day the saint was greatly disturbed by the sound of music and dance. He opened his eyes and he was carried away by her beauty. Vishvamitra was terribly angry that she had caught his attention, and at the same time, he could not stop himself from admiring her. He asked her,
Who are you, O beautiful one? Are you an Apsara or human?
I am a poor forest girl, O my lord.
Menaka replied.
But you look like a princess and dance very well.
Vishvamitra said. After saying these, he became completely mesmerized by her. He forgot about his meditation and started to dance together with her. After a few days dancing and singing with Celestial Maiden, Vishvamitra realized that all his meditation has gone waste. He regained his senses. He said to Menaka,
Tell me the truth. Who are you?
Menaka replied,
My lord, please forgive me. I am a celestial dancer in Indraloka's palace. He sent me here to distract you and disturb your meditation. Actually, I don't want to do this, but he is my master and I had to obey him.
Vishvamitra was furious and said,
You have cheated me and spoiled my meditation.
Immediately Menaka asked him and said,
My lord, please do not curse me. I am a mother now. Please allow me to stay here and give birth to my child.
I don't want you to stay any longer. Leave this place at once or I will curse you.
Thus, Menaka successfully incited Vishvamitra's lust and passion. She succeeded in breaking the meditation of Vishvamitra. However, she fell in genuine love with him. Unfortunately, she cannot stay with Vishvamitra. Expelled by him, Menaka was very upset. She reached the palace of Indraloka, but since she was pregnant, she was not allowed inside the royal court. She gave birth to a beautiful baby girl and named her Shakuntala. She left her child with another sage named Kanva and went back to Lord Indra's palace. Shakuntala grew up in the woods amidst beautiful butterflies, colorful birds, friendly rabbits and deer. She was so beautiful that anyone who saw her at the first time was taken aback with her beauty. Shakuntala grew in sage Kanva's ashram and became his foster child.
The Story of Shakuntala and Dushyanta. Once, the great king of the region, King Dushyanta, happened to come near the ashram of Shakuntala by way of hunting. Following the wild boar, he ran to the ashram where Shakuntala lived, and his eyes fell on a handsome male deer. He took an arrow and immediately shot the deer. The deer fell down in agony. Hearing this noise, Shakuntala came rushing outside. King Dushyanta was stunned by Shakuntala's great beauty.
Hunter, what have you done to my lovely deer? If something happens to my deer, you are solely responsible. How could you kill this poor creature?
Shakuntala said,
Beautiful princess, please forgive me. Let me stay in your ashram for a few days and cure the deer.
I am not the princess. I live in this ashram and take care of all the creators here. My name is Shakuntala. Who are you, Hunter?
Shakuntala responded,
I am not a hunter. My name is Dushyanta. I am the king of this kingdom. I came on a hunting expedition. I will cure your deer before I leave this place.
The king replied. From then on, the king started staying in the ashram. He took care of the deer and soon grew close to Shakuntala. In the serene environment of the ashram, Dushyanta's affection for Shakuntala grew into love and decided to marry her. He asked sage Kanva's permission and finally married Shakuntala with the blessings of the nearby elders. One day, Shakuntala asked his husband,
Why do you look so sad, oh my king?
Shakuntala, I have received news from my kingdom that things are not all right there. I have to go back immediately.
I am going to be a mother. I will also come along with you.
I cannot take you like this to the kingdom. I have to make all the arrangements there, and then come and take you into the kingdom, so that you can be received in the traditional manner, befitting a queen.
The king said,
Almighty king, I am really scared to be alone at a time like this. I don't know when you will come back.
Shakuntala replied. The king then consoled and convinced her.
Shakuntala, you must trust me. I don't want to leave you now, but it is my duty as king. I will give you my ring. Keep it as a token of my affection.
Dushyanta presented Shakuntala with a ring. He gave his precious ring to his wife, cautioning her not to lose it, and they left the ashram. Days turned into months, and still Dushyanta did not return. Shakuntala was deeply worried. She could not do any of her duties properly. She was thinking about his husband all the time. One day Sage Agastya came to the ashram. Shakuntala was in her own world, and she did not see the sage. The sage stood there for some time, but even then Shakuntala did not notice him, as she was completely absorbed in her thoughts of Dushyanta. The sage grew terribly angry and cursed her.
Shakuntala, I have been waiting here for quite some time, but you have not even welcomed me properly. If this is how you treat your elders, then the person whom you have been dreaming about will certainly forget you.
Shakuntala came back to her senses when she heard this curse. She could not bear the harness of the curse, and she began wailing. She asked for forgiveness and said,
I am deeply disturbed. My husband is not with me, and I am expecting a child. Please pardon me and give a remedy for this curse.
All right, if you shows your husband any article or gift that he has given you, he will remember everything.
The sage replied. Shakuntala, having waited for so long for Dushyanta, decided to meet him in his palace. Meanwhile, as per the sage's curse, in his busy schedule of affairs of the kingdom, the king Dushyanta forgot all about his love, Shakuntala. Here in the ashram, Shakuntala was worried as news of her husband did not reach her, nor did he send anyone to take her to his palace. The worry almost turned into panic because of the fact that she was pregnant, and soon her condition was sure to reveal this truth. And indeed, Sage Kanva and ladies of the ashrama noticed the changed Shakuntala. On inquiry, the truth became known to all. Sage Kanva has brought up Shakuntala as her daughter, and hence he decided to send her to her husband, King Dushyanta, where she would be accepted as his queen. The day was fixed for Shakuntala to leave. She was dressed in most beautiful silk attire and left for the kingdom for her husband in a ferry boat. The cool and balmy breeze put her to sleep, and the royal ring slipped out of her finger. Soon it was swallowed by the fish. Shakuntala was not even aware of this fact. She reached the court of Dushyanta. She was expecting a warm reception from Dushyanta, and she was brought before the king. On seeing Dushyanta, tears began rolling down her cheeks. She forgot all the suffering she has undergone in his absence. She said,
"Oh, my king, why didn't you come and meet me all these days? I could not bear this separation any longer. Please accept me, my king. We are going to have our child next month. I am really tired. How are you? Why aren't you saying anything? Are you angry with me, my lord?"
Due to sage Agastya's curse, Dushyanta has completely forgotten what had happened. He did not even recognize Shakuntala and said,
Poor lady, I really don't know who you are. I think you have come to the wrong place. You must be mistaken. Yet you are carrying a child, so you must rest here for a while.
Hearing this, Shakuntala fainted in Royal Assembly Hall. The guards assisted her and brought her back to her senses. She then said,
"Oh, my lord, what are you saying? You are my husband and I am your wife. You married me in the forest and stayed with me. You told me that you would come and take me to the kingdom."
I am sorry, young lady, but I really don't know you. I am a king. Don't try to embarrass me. I will give you some money. Please go away from here. You have come to the wrong place.
"My lord, where will I go now? I don't want your money. I just don't know what to do now."
Suddenly, Shakuntala remembered the ring that Dushyanta had given her, but she was shocked to find it missing. She still hadn't realized that she had dropped it in the river on her way. Shakuntala began to weep.
"My lord, you give me a ring, but it has fallen somewhere. Please help me."
Young lady, please leave the palace. Who are you trying to fool? Go away and don't disturb me any further.
Thus commanded by the king. Shakuntala left the palace, but she did not go back to the ashram. She decided to live alone in nearby forest. Dejected and disappointed, Shakuntala left for the forest all alone and decided to give birth to the child. Gradually, her self-confidence returned, her fear vanished, and in due course of time, she gave birth to a most beautiful and well-developed son. She named him Bharata.
Beware with lust, one of the most 7 deadly sins. It corrupted the body and mind. Even the virtues of man can be seduced by it.
Let us continue to embark on a journey through time to explore the origins of this timeless epic. The story of mankind, the story of Dharma.